Every day in the morning, I scan the news using a few key words. Normally, Gamergate is not actually amongst them. Last night though, I decided to have a little check at what people had been writing about it. As a result, I came across this interesting ThinkProgress piece. These women are using industry discrimination to change tech. Gamergate is a great example of hostility in tech, Caroline Cinders, a New York-based UX designer, told a roomful of gamers and technologists. They just can't get enough, can they? They love it so much. Anyway, before we continue, how would you define Gamergate? Just say it out loud or just think it? Okay, how about a media sensation spawned from one man's heartbreak? Is that right? Or does that sound more like a critic's quote on a film trailer? They continue on with all the usual stuff, which is why I don't normally bother looking, because all these articles tend to be the same. But there is some more interesting stuff. Women are beginning to unite and share information in much the same way these men are, and it's perceived as incredibly threatening, particularly when it's seen as versus rather than expanding, something that is unique to Gamergate. The us versus them, the good versus evil. It's just not the case, Parry said. Even within the full context of the article, I'm not sure what this method of unity and information sharing they're talking about is. The article is about a conference being arranged, so maybe they mean conferences. In any case, the irony in their depiction of Gamergate is quite funny. Trust us, join us, and not them, because they uniquely engage in us versus them. Trans developers did not say, "We want to destroy first-person shooters by creating Twine." In fact, those games were just not for them with their representation of masculinity, that they were forced to make new games, new solutions. I don't really have much to say here, but I have a strong suspicion that trans developers don't just not make FPS games. Perhaps I'm just ignorant, but I'm not seeing why representing masculinity is a problem for them. I don't get the implication. Is it meant to be saying that trans people don't like masculinity? Does that include female to male trans people when she's making that implication? Who knows what she's thinking? Let's move on. I think the public wants a more diverse voice in games. There are going to be more games like Curtain, she said, which lets users experience what it's like being in an abusive relationship. Yeah, you're right, that's just what the public wants, the experience of domestic abuse. But no, that does sound amazing. That sounds really artistic if it really makes you feel that, if it has, as it says, emotional resonance. Let's take a look at this game that lets you experience what it's like to be in an abusive relationship. The description of it as something that will evoke certain emotions evokes more emotion than the game itself. The thing that Gamergate taught me is fighting the system is not only useless but annoying, said Phoenix Parry, founder of Code Liberation, an organization that teaches women programming for free, partly to counter harassment in gaming. The best way around Gamergate is to simply create games and offer solutions that let the public decide. Hey, that's my line. If you weren't letting the public decide before now, what the hell were you doing? My biggest problem with game developers is people not doing that. If you consider me to be Gamergate, that's not a way around me. That is actually what me winning looks like, and I appreciate your compliance. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions.